We all know the beloved Agnes Crumplebottom, who was reintroduced in The Sims 4 Cottage Living alongside her cousin Agatha. She and her family have been in The Sims since the first game. But did you know they have some supernatural relatives too? That would be Beatrice, Belinda, and Bianca Crumplebottom of Moonlight Falls. 3 sisters, all witches. I stumbled upon them when I was obsessively playing with fairies in The Sims 3 Supernatural after buying the pack recently. But have you encountered these witchy sisters? My very first encounter was with Belinda, who came to befriend my fairies and welcome them to the neighborhood. Imagine my shock when I first saw that my fairy had met a witch and then discovered that that witch's last name was Crumplebottom. What? I thought that was it, but then I went on to meet Bianca, another Crumplebottom witch, and then Beatrice. Like, what the heck? I was shook. That's all I can say. When you first get into Moonlight Falls, you can find the Crumplebottom sisters living in a Victorian manor. It's right over here. And this is what The Sims tells us. The 3 Crumplebottom sisters have very little in common with one another, and yet they have never been able to live apart. They feel right at home in Moonlight Falls, which, like their family, is full of drama and magic. Will these 3 witches ever find balance and serenity, or are they destined always to express their love for each other through a combination of trickery and shouting? First out of all the sisters, we have Beatrice, the oldest. She's an adult who dreams of being the best witch in Moonlight Falls. And if we go to her bio, which is right over here, the eldest of the 3 witches, Beatrice just wants to create perfect spells, and she doesn't give 2 cat's whiskers about anything else in her ambition to be the best witch that Moonlight Falls has ever seen. She has very little patience, and if it wasn't for the company of her 2 sisters, she wouldn't have any friends at all. She has a very stuck-up attitude towards others and refuses to acknowledge the achievements of her fellow witches. Belinda is accustomed to dealing with Beatrice's quick temper, but young Bianca thinks her older sister could be a real drag sometimes. All of that is very well shown in her traits, which are loner, bookworm, grumpy, frugal, and proper. Even her tastes, like her favorite food and color, also back that as well. Her favorite food is ratatouille. Her favorite color is gray, so kind of very like, I don't know, proper, fancy, plain, maybe you could say. And that's true, I haven't really shown the house, but it is very like Victorian, very witchy. And the next sister we have is Belinda, who was the first one I met, and she is the middle sister and the peacekeeper in the home. And her bio reads, Belinda is the middle sister and full-time peacekeeper of the Crumplebottom family. She's pretty much the only thing that keeps Beatrice and Bianca from tricking each other into oblivion. Sometimes Belinda wonders if she was actually born into the right family, but those thoughts are quick to disappear after spending an hour with her 2 conflicting sisters. Yes, Beatrice is difficult to deal with when she gets grumpy, and Bianca can be a little self-absorbed, always, but Belinda is determined to have them get along because it's the only way she'll get some peace and quiet in the house. To me, Belinda just seems like a witch with a good head on her shoulders, always having to deal with her sister's stuff. And last but not least with the sisters, there's Bianca, the youngest. Here she is. Now, when you compare Bianca's traits to Beatrice, oh, here they go, actually. I think they're about to get into a fight or something. But yeah, when we look at her traits compared to Beatrice's, you can see why they wouldn't get along too well. Bianca is flirty, night owl, has commitment issues, she's childish, and a snob. And then her favorite color is white, which makes a lot of sense because her name is Bianca, which is Italian for white. And look at that, they're already getting mad at each other. Beatrice is very angry with Bianca. And Bianca's bio reads, poor Beatrice and Belinda. It must be hard for them to have a sister who is so much younger and so much prettier than they are. Bianca is the youngest of 3 sisters that couldn't be any more opposite. Always being picked on and lashing back at her sisters. She doesn't know if it's because she's the youngest or her good looks that are the envy of her sisters. But really, does that give them any right to take it out on her? It's not her fault she turned out perfect. Maybe they'd be happier if Beatrice wasn't an old grump and Belinda wasn't so concerned about other people. Oh my goodness, the sass. It could be that these 3 sisters are based off of the main characters from the show Charmed, Prue, Piper, and Phoebe Halliwell. Oh, we got a welcome wagon. I'm probably gonna ignore you, sorry. And this could be because both are sets of 3 witch sisters whose names all start with the same letter. The Halliwells being P and the Crumplebottoms being B, obviously. Now, I definitely see this connection, especially for another reason, because both Belinda and Piper, the middle sisters, are involved in the culinary career because Piper works in a restaurant in the show, and Belinda here, she is an ingredient tester in the culinary career track, When you look at Belinda's Sims wiki page, it says that whether these sisters are related to the Crumplebottoms from Sunset Valley is up to the player speculation. My theory is that they are, but at some point a spell was cast so that they would be forgotten. Maybe they weren't accepted or had a falling out with the rest of their family, because when you look at their family tree, that's when it starts getting interesting. For the three sisters, they are the only people on their family tree. And then when you look at Agnes Crumplebottom's family tree, who lives in Sunset Valley, they are nowhere to be seen. This could also be in reference to the fact that in the show Charmed, the sisters' mom is dead and their father abandoned them. So I think both sets of sisters are just kind of distant from any family that they do have. What do you think? Are the Crumplebottom witch sisters related to Agnes? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye!